Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I created Magic and Miracles with one purpose only: to help people of all walks of life achieve their manifestation goals. True story. All the information from me is below. If you'd like to be in coaching with me, please understand that the first thing you do is book a 1 hour session. In this session, we establish that we have a good rapport, that we resonate with each other. Please make yourself familiar with my work on this channel as well as on my predecessor channel. The links are directly below. The handle is Magic and Miracles spelled out. Okay, for technological issues, Mama Drama Panorama, I had to leave that channel behind and start fresh. So this is my new channel, but there's a plethora of work there. So please make yourself familiar with my work. But in this hour, in whichever way this will go, and you're very much a participant in this decision, by the way, right? This is all about you, this process. Either way, I help you out quite a bit in this hour. People have walked away with golden nuggets, one way or the other, for whatever reason, maybe all they could do is 1 hour with me, and that's what they could do. But I definitely channel the messages for you in coaching and give you advice that you will walk away with. And if you take action on it, you will succeed. That I promise you. So even for the hour, you do need to sign the coaching agreement by hand. It's a very reasonable agreement. It's from myself and your and my protection, both of us. Agreement between the two of us. Please sign it by hand. Print the date. Print your name, and please scan it and send it back as an attachment. All right, as a very, very last resort. And please try not to do that. If at all possible, please take a clear picture, okay? But it has to be crystal clear. So you understand scanning is much better in this case. So if upon conclusion of the session, we both again decide this is going to be a fantastic investment, then you need to book straight away the signature coaching package, because I have another package called Signature Energy Course, which is a do-it-yourself course, which I highly recommend, by the way. So I get I get slipped up every once in a while. And so this coaching package is basically a boot camp. It's not for the faint of heart. I recommend 2 to 3 months on average. That's enough. Sometimes people need more. Sometimes 2 months is more than enough. Depends on the situation. But essentially, if you follow my guidance, if you really adhere to the program and you show up prepared to each and every single meeting, there is no possible way that you don't succeed. Okay. It's a matter of you showing up. It's a matter of you delivering for yourself. Like there's nobody can lose your weight for you. Nobody can, in that sense, do your push-ups for you. So it becomes a dance between a coach and the client, but very much we are in partnership here. So I very much, like, just as much as I am going to completely offer you everything, lay out everything, all the tools, the entire fucking jewel box that I've constructed out of the last 15 years of my own journey and 10 years being a coach. You take that and run with it. That's the recipe for success. If you do nothing with it, then it's kind of like you have $1 billion in your bank account and you're just like staring at it, doing absolutely nothing with it. All right. And in fact, pretending it's not there. So it entirely depends upon how you perform for yourself and how much action you take in the direction of what I suggest. Now, again, it's very intense and we address not just SPs, but your entire life. I'm a believer that you really have to kind of, shape your life up in order to become of a higher frequency being. And that's what I really teach people to do, to become closer and closer to that ideal version, which I call the Golden Buddha. All right. So if before booking, there are other packages. I have a whole audio on my channel dedicated to the coaching and the coaching packages. So you can refer to that and listen about all the other packages. But if you have any questions, by all means, please reach out. The email is below. And just a reminder, this Saturday, right before the live on Saturday, we have a group coaching how to create a magic spell, a really powerful intention. Okay, this is called energy work. Really, just magic spell is a symbolic name. Please don't get carried away. It has nothing to do with witchcraft. I teach people energy work in my coaching and how to really create, I mean, nothing short of magic with your own energy. But your energy, again, has to be up to speed. And so it's an introductory session for an hour or so. It's $100. And like I said, it's part of the signature energy course. If you want to take the entire course, the links are also below. But I figured that I would meet with a few people one-on-one, no more than 7. So book right away. The links are below. Because I want, people to be able to ask questions, etc. In the signature energy course, you do not get a chance to ask questions. So this is your opportunity to kind of, get introduced to me in the coaching setting and definitely learn quite a bit. Okay. And if you want me to hear me talk about what the magic spell represents and there's a success story, go watch my first live on this channel. The very first live talks about immediately, like straight into the beginning of the live, it talks about a success story that I discussed. So you can go and find out about. So I'm very inspired to continue the conversation on telepathy. And every time I channel, it's obvious that, there's somebody wants to hear it. Somebody needs to hear it. I hear this all the time from my followers and clients alike. Like whenever I record something, they always feel like, I heard their mind, that I read their mind. So the topic of today is how to telepathically affect your speed. Don't you want to know? So the entire conversation really begins around this, the telepathy subject, is like how much noise you have going on that is somebody else's. And people call this anxiety. And I'm not a, psychologist by any stretch of the imagination, although I have taken quite a bit of psychology classes and I'm deeply fascinated by psychology. And mental disorders, really am fascinated by them. Just to study human nature, really just endlessly fascinated with all of that. Which is why I love my work so much. And I love, deconstructing a belief system, reconstructing a new one. I treat it like almost like architecture in a way to help people get better in that sense. So how much noise you have going on will depend like how purely telepathically you are and the quality of your telepathic transmission. I think it becomes obvious. The universe has nothing else to work with but with your energy, right? The correlation of it in the most immediate surroundings of yours. Like whenever you're in a crappy mood, it seems as though everybody around you is in a crappy mood as well. Things don't go right and all this kind of jazz. Now, it may just be your perception because you're looking at it through the lens of maybe pissed offness, unforgiveness, regret, hate, what have you, right? And you may be entitled to that. I'm not saying you're not. But you also, what I really just teach here is that your mood just transfers you to a parallel world. And so based on this world, your telepathy is of a different quality, basically the corresponding quality of that world. And thus you will attract, you're the tower of the power, right? So if the tower of the power emits a frequency of, let's just suppose, disappointment, you're in a disappointment receiving mode. All right. There's nothing more than fucking disappointment. I think it's obvious. So every frequency, each world is a never ending unfolding of more of the same. It just never ends. If anything, it just escalates. If you start being intense about, let's just say, again, intense disappointment or intense fear, intense regret, it just seems like it never fucking ends. This is why they call it a cycle. It just keeps going and going and going because like that's all it has to offer you. All right. So the good news though, right, is that this rule applies to every kind of world, which means that like if you work on yourself and work diligently and with discipline on arriving at your ideal self, what that feels like, and continue to tap into this world and make yourself familiar with that being more normal, like this is what I started saying. I'm not a psychologist. Like when people have a lot of noise, that's what I feel translates into anxiety, fears, etc. All right. So understand that this is a false self. This is entirely constructed out of noise. It's very disorienting. It's very distracting. It's polluting your signal. Your signal is going out like totally dim. Okay? I'm sorry, but that's the best I've got like to describe. This is why the delays, the frustration, you feeling kind of powerless. It isn't that you're not powerful, it's that the noise is overpowering what it is. Like I don't want to say you're allowing it to overpower it, but the fact is it's there. All right, it's there, and it's more prevalent than the other energy, shall we say. Like it's never going to be that it's going to be 100%, but what I basically recommend and I personally strive for is 90%, like I said in one of my shorts, 90% focus, 10% noise. All right, this is how telepathically you become unfucking beatable, because you understand that once you arrive to the world where you're familiar more with your ideal self and the purity of your telepathy is more normal to you. You feel there like yourself because that's actually where you belong. Like all those things you want, your SP and whatever else that you're working on, the money and the house, like that is for a reason, because your ideal self, okay, and I don't want you to start putting it on a pedestal either, okay? It's just what you belong to be. I guess it's better said. It's not like ideal, like, oh my God, it's unreachable. No, no, no. This is like exactly what you're supposed to be. Like, there's a certain thing you're supposed to do with your work. There's a certain way you're supposed to be that is authentic to you. This is authenticity, like having exactly what you want. So I want you to really tap into that feeling rather than it being unreachable, for the stars and, shooting for the moon and this and that. No, no. This is like actually what's supposed to happen. You just got sidetracked by Mama Drama Panorama. Okay. So when you become more aware of who you really are, and again, this is what I help people to realize in coaching, you become what I call a perfumier of energy. And again, this is what energy work is. You are very particular and specific about what kind of telepathic communications, what kind of energy, essentially, you are constructing deliberately, like a perfumier. Like, you take a little bit of this, that, and the other. Now, each person, each individual is different. It's obvious because, different backgrounds. I mean, they live in different countries, speak different languages, different upbringings, blah, blah, blah. And so in each individual case, like I don't believe for one fucking second cookie cutting my coaching for this very reason. I always custom make the coaching for each individual because of what I'm explaining right here. Each person understands happiness in their own way. Like happiness is a very broad term, but how they would feel getting what they want, whether that's SP or money or whatever, feels in a very custom-made way for them based on what they had to overcome or have to overcome emotionally. And we do a lot of emotional processing. So each individual has to get there in their different way to allow themselves to tap into this energy of like, okay, how specifically am I going to address this person now telepathically? And that takes work, darling. Ladies and gentlemen, I should say, that really takes work because it's of a very kind of like mathematical precision. And that's what, I will discuss with you if you'll join me during the group coaching on Saturday, how to write a magic spell, because you have to be precise. And I'm going to walk you through all the steps. I'm just going on the assumption that you want to be very precise about what it is you're getting. No more like misunderstandings, so to speak, with the universe. You know what I mean? Like you can literally Like I just had this the other day. I constructed my day in advance from start to finish. But from start to finish, I visualized it a couple of times. I tapped into a feeling that I know, with the help of certain tools that are right for me based on what I'm, kind of what my inclinations are and how those certain things make me feel, certain songs, etc. I mean, we can go over that one by one, but the fact is, you know how to construct it from start to finish because you need to be this specific. You need to be this specific. This is how you get exactly what you want. So when you telepathically affecting somebody, you need to be like, it's not that you're not affecting them telepathically now. It's that you're not affecting them the way that you want to affect them. That's the difference. It's not that you're powerless. It's like I said, the purity of your signal is dimmed by Mama Drama Panorama. You need to completely detach from this timeline to go into another timeline where you literally like you become closer to your pure self, where you actually understand how much power you hold, and you're very careful with the kind of signal you're sending out towards this person because you know they will receive it. You know they will receive it. This is why your own signal needs to be super duper clear because of the precision. I mean, again, I'm assuming that you're like sick and tired of producing silly results or no results and this, that, and the other. So I'm giving you the roadmap, all right, in short. And here's the other thing that I'm really inspired to add here is that begging the universe or chasing anybody or begging even your angels, your guardian angels, or, your spiritual squad is not the way to manifest. Understand that you're in charge here and you will forever be in charge of your life, of your guardian angels, of your spiritual squad, etc. And your guardian angels and your spiritual squad very much want you to upgrade your qualifications here on earth, whether you fucking like it or not, just understand that that's the premise. All right. So it's like being lazy, not upgrading, and not facing that there is something to upgrade is not a fucking option. Otherwise, you can join the crowd of many other people who never progress. And that, quite frankly, is a miserable proposition, if you ask me. All right. I'm all for expansion, and so is the universe. So the angels will not respond to you when you're begging. They know you have the power, that you have they will help you. Okay. They will help you with things that you cannot do. All right. Like, I don't know, rearranging timelines, again, doing things behind the scenes that you couldn't possibly do in your physical body and couldn't like maneuver or manipulate enough things or people to be able to produce that. Like, you know what I mean? Like these supernatural quote unquote things. But the things that you yourself have to produce, let's just say a telephone call from your specific person, a telepathic message for them to fall in love with you all over again, even at a distance, or to, think about getting married to you. This is something, entirely for you, or manifesting a specific sum of money. They want you to do it for yourself. So you learn and you never forget how you did it. Because again, it becomes a question of like, it's like showing up, I don't know, to a training session, like at the gym, and telling the instructor, hey, you do my push-ups for me, and I'm going to kind of like get buff over here. Well, then you'll never find out your power. You'll never find out your power. You'll never get good at it. If you realize it's within your reach to start sending out something completely different rather than relying for somebody to come and save you, okay? That you're your own savior, you yourself, you're the tower of power. You yourself need to start transmitting something that you actually want to be a part of, irregardless of how long you've been in the never-ending Mama Drama panorama. Anything that you can take an action on to shoehorn yourself into the parallel reality, okay? Anything to feel better right here and right now, to switch worlds and start commanding from a higher premise. You will telepathically transmit with such purity that this signal will go out and bring back with such speed what you want. Your head will spin. And you will be like, but oh, I suffered all this time and I won my golden medal, for the suffering. No, it doesn't work like that. Okay. It's like, again, I'm explaining to you how it works, the mechanics of it. You can stay in the old world like forever. Nobody cares. You could stay there and stay there and stay, or you can telepathically raise your frequency and start transmitting better thoughts. And you'll be like, well, that's cheating. That's unfair. Sometimes I hear this in coaching. Okay, if you say so. That's work, darling. That's called discipline. This is called mechanics. It doesn't, it's not partial, towards one person versus the other. It's how deliberate are you about really wanting what you want? You say you want it, but at the same time, you are, still in the energy of perhaps, you know what, I'm not really ready to let go of what I'm over here dealing with. Maybe there's a reason that you need to still kind of like talk about it and process it. There's a place for that. Absolutely. But what I'm saying is that at any point, you can definitely stop doing that. At some point, it's kind of like it's a human thing. You need to process it, talk about it, and very much do it in coaching with the aim at transmuting it into a blessing and to really realize why it had to take place, and now being ready to let go, being ready to let go and thank for that experience and now create something different. Now, the only exception that I make, and you guys probably know this by now if you're new, well, here it is. The only exception is that if this person was abusive to you, it just doesn't work that way. It's not what's supposed to happen for you. All right. I think that was a lesson for a certain reason, but please respect yourself. You're all beautiful people. Okay. I've met so many of you off of YouTube in the last 3 years that I've been coaching on YouTube, and you guys are just absolutely magnificent. What can I say? So have some respect for yourself. It's never a thing of you should put up with abuse. Okay, it's never that. And you should respect yourself enough to know that you're too beautiful and too talented and too fabulous for that. Maybe at some point you were a match in frequency, in world, with that person for a certain message, but that's it. That's what it really just comes down to for you to transmute that experience and derive golden nuggets. Every experience comes with tremendous amount of golden nuggets if you're able to see them. And if you're able to achieve that in the midst of still being in the situation and start offering a different vibration, thus joining a higher world, watch how telepathically all powerful you become. You realize, again, you're just a tower of power. It's entirely your choice to start telepathically transmuting. I mean, and then it becomes like, I have to be careful what I think, because it comes true like verbatim. You're going to start freaking yourself out. It's not a problem, again, of you not being powerful. It's where are you using your power? Which world are you currently involved in? And that's all it really is. It's a world. You just got sucked into it, and that's what it is. You just got too used to maybe thinking this is your only option. No, you have endless options. The opportunities are endless. I mean, but any thought transmission, any telepathic command to your SP will dictate exactly how they will behave with you, how they will feel towards you. When you're on a higher frequency, they will be absolutely mesmerized by you, in love with you, can get enough of you because you are of a higher, pure frequency. Everybody wants to be around a person like that. And that's how you become endlessly magnetic. And like I said, your telepathy goes up through the motherfucking roof. You will be unfucking stoppable. You will feel like you're flying on top of the world. And so again, be mindful which frequency you end up on. It's okay to visit it. It's okay to process things, say goodbye and forgive and this and that. But realize you ultimately, you belong in the golden Buddha world where everything is exactly as you please. And that's the new normal. Thank you very much for listening. All the information again for me is below. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.